Ladies and gentlemen, today, I want you to take a moment to reflect on where you stand in life. Are you where you imagined you'd be 5 years ago? Have you moved closer to your dreams, or has your path taken unexpected turns? In our fast-paced world, it's easy to lose sight of our goals. But today, I challenge you to evaluate your life. What matters most to you? What inspires and drives you? Consider your achievements, both big and small. Each success and setback has shaped who you are today. Are you living a life that aligns with your values and passions? If not, what changes can you make now? It's never too late to pursue new dreams and strive for personal growth. Your future is shaped by the actions you take today. Embrace the power of choice and steer your life towards fulfillment and happiness. Remember, life is a journey, not a race. Find meaning and joy in every step. Surround yourself with those who uplift and support you. Take pride in how far you've come and have faith in where you're heading. Stand tall, stay true to yourself, and keep moving forward. The best is yet to come.
The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence, Scovel, Shinn. Foreword by Joel Fotinos. Life is difficult. Everything seems so hard. I'm always broke. I'll never find my soulmate. Work is a grind. Nothing ever seems to work out for me. These are only some of the many negative thoughts that can run rampant through our minds. Many people can relate to the idea that life doesn't seem to turn out the way we thought it would or hoped it would. But is that true, or is that just what we tell ourselves? Is it possible that we make life so much more difficult than it needs to be? And is it even remotely possible that life can be fun, even a game? That is the premise of Florence Scovel Shinn's classic masterpiece, The Game of Life and How to Play It. Originally published in 1925, The Game of Life and How to Play It has never been out of print and over the years has sold millions of copies. Originally self-published by the author after no publisher would accept it, the book has gone on to influence people from all walks of life. From business leaders to students, to spiritual teachers such as Louise Hay, Norman Vincent Peale, and Emmett Fox. When a book continues to inspire readers nearly a century after original publication, it generally means that the ideas in the book are universal and applicable. That is absolutely true for The Game of Life and How to Play It. The book contains simple yet powerful advice for living a positive life. In fact, Shinn shows how we can turn our life into a game and turn our minds into power attractors of abundance at every turn in every area of our lives. Filled with stories from the author's life as well as the lives of her many students, The Game of Life and How to Play It also contains instructions on changing our viewpoint from one of limitation and negativity to that of possibility and positivity. She also shows how affirmations can yield powerful effects and even gives us exercises to use. Shinn used these ideas and practices in her own life. Born in New Jersey in 1871, Shinn became an artist, book, and magazine illustrator, and even an actress in New York City. Divorced and living on her own in Manhattan, Shinn became interested in New Thought teachings and eventually became a popular spiritual teacher. It is from these experiences that she wrote her books. The Game of Life and How to Live It was the one that captured the attention of millions over the years and continues to change readers' lives to this day. As you read this book, be prepared to see your life in a new way. Shinn is clear that we have a choice in how we perceive and live our lives. Not only that, but that we have a responsibility to elevate our attitudes and thoughts, which will in turn change every area in our life. She doesn't leave room for doubt, complaints, or procrastination. Follow the positive ideas in this book and see positive effects ripple in your life as well. Chapter 1, The Game of Life and How to Play It. The game. Most people consider life a battle, but it is not a battle, it is a game. It is a game, however, which cannot be played successfully without the knowledge of spiritual law. And the Old and the New Testaments give the rules of the game with wonderful clearness. Jesus Christ taught that it was a great game of giving and receiving. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. This means that whatever a man sends out in word or deed will return to him. What he gives, he will receive. If he gives hate, he will receive hate. If he gives love, he will receive love. If he gives criticism, he will receive criticism. If he lies, he will be lied to. If he cheats, he will be cheated. We are also taught that the imaging faculty plays a leading part in the game of life. Keep thy heart or imagination with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. This means that what man images sooner or later externalizes in his affairs. I know of a man who feared a certain disease. It was a very rare disease and difficult to get. But he pictured it continually and read about it until it manifested in his body, and he died the victim of distorted imagination. So we see, to play successfully the game of life, we must train the imaging faculty. A person with an imaging faculty, trained to image only good, brings into his life every righteous desire of his heart. Health, wealth, love, friends, perfect self-expression, his highest ideals. The imagination has been called the scissors of the mind. And it is ever cutting, day by day, the pictures man sees there, and sooner or later he meets his own creations in his outer world. To train the imagination successfully, man must understand the workings of his mind. The Greeks said, know thyself. There are 3 departments of the mind: the subconscious, conscious, and superconscious. The subconscious is simply power without direction. It is like stream or electricity, and it does what it is directed to do. It has no power of induction. Whatever man feels deeply or images clearly is impressed upon the subconscious mind and carried out in minutest detail. For example, a woman I know when a child always made believe she was a widow. She dressed up in black clothes and wore a long black veil. And people thought she was very clever and amusing. She grew up and married a man with whom she was deeply in love. In a short time, he died and she wore black and a sweeping veil for many years. The picture of herself as a widow was impressed upon the subconscious mind, and in due time worked itself out, regardless of the havoc created. The conscious mind has been called mortal or carnal mind. It is the human mind and sees life as it appears to be. It sees death, disaster, sickness, poverty, and limitation of every kind, and it impresses the subconscious mind. The superconscious mind is the God mind within each man and is the realm of perfect ideas. In it is the perfect pattern spoken by Plato, the divine design, for there is a divine design for each person. There is a place that you are filled. There is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill. Something you are to do which no one else can do. There is a perfect picture of this in the superconscious mind. It usually flashes across the conscious as an unattainable idea, something too good to be true. In reality, it is man's true destiny or destination, flashed to him from the infinite intelligence which is within himself. Many people, however, are in ignorance of their true desires and are striving for things and situations which do not belong to them. It would only bring failure and dissatisfaction if attained. For example, a woman came to me and asked me to speak the word that she would marry a certain man with whom she was very much in love. She called him AB. I replied that this would be a violation of spiritual law, but that I would speak the word for the right man, the divine selection, the man who belonged to her by divine right. I added, if AB is the right man, you can't lose him, and if he isn't, you will receive his equivalent. She saw AB frequently, but no headway was made in their friendship. One evening she called and said, "Do you know for the last week AB hasn't seemed so wonderful to me?" I replied, "Maybe he is not the divine selection. Another man may be the right one." Soon after that, she met another man who fell in love with her at once, and who said she was his ideal. In fact, he said all the things that she had always wished AB would say to her. She remarked, it was quite uncanny. She soon returned his love and lost all interest in AB. This shows the law of substitution. A right idea was substituted for a wrong one. Therefore, there was no loss or sacrifice involved. Jesus Christ said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." And he said the kingdom was within man. The kingdom is the realm of right ideas or the divine pattern. Jesus Christ taught that man's words played a leading part in the game of life. By your words ye are justified, and by your words ye are condemned. Many people have brought disaster into their lives through idle words. For example, a woman once asked me why her life was now one of poverty, of limitation. Formerly, she had a home, was surrounded by beautiful things, and had plenty of money. We found she had often tired of the management of her home and had said repeatedly, "I'm sick and tired of things. I wish I lived in a trunk." And she added, "Today I am living in that trunk." She had spoken herself into a trunk. The subconscious mind has no sense of humor, and people often joke themselves into unhappy experiences. For example, a woman who had a great deal of money joked continually about getting ready for the poorhouse. In a few years, she was almost destitute, having impressed the subconscious mind with a picture of lack and limitation. Fortunately, the law works both ways, and a situation of lack may be changed to one of plenty. For example, a woman came to me one hot summer's day for a treatment for prosperity. She was worn out, dejected, and discouraged. She said she possessed such just $8 in the world. I said, good, we'll bless the $8 and multiply them as Jesus Christ multiplied the loaves and the fishes. For he taught that every man had the power to bless and to multiply, to heal and to prosper. She said, what shall I do next? I replied, follow intuition. Have you a hunch to do anything or to go anywhere? Intuition means intuition, or to be taught from within. It is man's unerring guide, and I will deal more fully with its laws in a following chapter. So that was Yet Quite Chapter 1. And thank you for watching. And please follow Oracle Candles as we read The Game of Life and how to play it.